Let's put that genie back in the bottle.
Paints with the colors of the wind, bitch.
It's time for two finger point.
Power daddy.
Our shoes are in the pond.
Extra magic hours, which we in turn called extra tragic hours.
People call them the naked mole rat.
Did you really just two finger point?
Here are your hosts, Amber and Kylie.
All right, guys, welcome back to another Two Finger Point Tuesday. I'm Amber.
And I'm Kylie.
All right, and this week we have in Disney news, Fantasmic, the dragon caught on fire during the 10:30 p.m. Disney showing at Disneyland.
That was nuts. Did you see it on video?
I didn't see it on video. All I saw was headlines, and the headline was Tom Sawyer Island caught on fire. And I was like, excuse me?
Oh my gosh, I would have freaked out if that was the first thing I read. I love Tom Sawyer Island.
Yeah, and Eric does too. So I was like, oh my God, is it gone? And so I obviously dug further and I was like, okay, so it's just the dragon. And from what people were saying was, so at first it started with the head that caught on fire, and then like the entire prop was all just caught up in flames.
Yeah, you should look up the video because it's gnarly. Like I've seen it so many times from working it that I know that it's supposed to breathe fire. So for a split second, it's like, oh, it's the show. But you just see the whole head just engulfed in flames. And you're like, that's not what's supposed to happen. So when you get a chance, look up the videos.
I will definitely have to do that. Yeah, because I guess people who hadn't seen Fantasmic before, they were saying like they thought it was part of the performance, like before they realized, oh shit, that's not normal.
Yeah, I don't know what to even think about it. It's so sad. But like, how did that even happen?
Yeah, so what I was reading, they said they're not sure yet. They're still trying to figure it out, which I want to know too how it happened. But luckily they did say nobody was hurt, no one was injured, cast members or guests. So everyone was good and safe.
Good. That's good. I guess that's what it pays to have the show on the water.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I was like, luckily it's far enough away that it really can't affect guests. And luckily the cast members, I guess people saw them like exiting through Frontierland. So everyone kind of got away from where the smoke was going.
That's good. I read that cast members were instructed to be ready to come back for Fantasmic work May 4th. So it sounds like they've already got some stuff figured out.
Oh, that's good.
But I saw, and of course this is a theory because it was like a short or a TikTok, but somebody explained that at all the Fantasmic shows like across the world, they are pulling that dragon prop just for safety measure. And they're likely going to just do a projection of the dragon like on the water.
Oh, I did hear about that. I heard that they were going to pull it and see what they could do across, the world, because after that, I'm sure Disney was like, okay, we got to figure out something different here.
That's a liability.
Yeah, especially because the one at Disneyland, that's a little bit closer. It's just a stage, right? So,
yeah.
Yeah, so they're definitely considering something different here. But on a lighter note, something a little bit more fun. So Disney World, they dug up their time capsule at Animal Kingdom this past week because they're celebrating 25 years of Animal Kingdom being open.
That's right. I forgot about that. It's so crazy that a Disney park opened within our lifetime. I don't know why, but it's just weird. I guess we're at that age where it's like, oh, history happened when I was alive.
No, it's wild thinking about because, I was going to Disney in the early 90s because I lived out in, I lived in Tallahassee, and I just didn't remember Animal Kingdom. And I guess I didn't realize Animal Kingdom was so new. And so it just shows why, because it didn't open until 1998. And that was kind of at the last bits of me going to Disney pretty frequently.
Okay. I remember they made a big to-do about that. Like, I want to say Tarzan was the movie that came out around that time. And I just remember popping in my VHS Disney tapes, and they were always talking about the Tree of Life and Animal Kingdom and how it was opening. So it's kind of cool to remember that and see, oh, we're already 25 years down the road.
Yeah. So when they opened up the capsule, I think what's funny is it definitely is very quasi 90s because they had like VHS tapes of the cast member orientation,
Oh my
floppy
gosh.
disks with
Floppy
pictures.
disk? Floppy disk. Oh my gosh.
Like kids today don't even know what a damn floppy disk is. They're like the save icon. I'm like, no, that thing is real.
It's about the size of your hand.
Oh my gosh. And paper tickets, which don't even exist
Oh
basically now
yeah.
anymore. I mean, they kind of do. They print them out sometimes for you, but um I don't know, it's just cool just to think about like all the 90s like nostalgic stuff that was in their little capsule.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna have to look into that because that sounds like something I'd want to see.
Yeah, it was cute. And I was like, now it made me kind of like it made me think back to Animal Kingdom and be like, okay, maybe it gave me it like reignited my love for Animal Kingdom.
Yeah. And just to think how much is developed because now we have the Avatar movies that
Hmm.
play a huge role there. And oh, I like that park. I wish it had longer hours, but I understand why it didn't.
Yeah.
I only went a few times because of the hours, but I always enjoyed it.
Yeah, I definitely took that park for granted. So I think going back to Disney World, I think I would give it a little bit more love because I know there's so much to explore and look around, and I think I took that park for granted because I wanted to go ride all the other rides everywhere else.
Yeah, it's limited on rides, but if you're really into animals and doing things besides rides, you can have an interesting visit there. Kind of like Epcot, but I feel like Epcot has a little more rides.
Yeah, and I mean Epcot, most of the time people just go there to drink, I think. So
Yeah.
that was all the news that I really oh well, except for so streaming now, I mean, starting this week, Peter Pan and Wendy finally was officially streaming on Disney Plus. So
Yes, I plan to stream that. I was going to on Friday, but I've had a crazy week.
I know I want to. I keep seeing the previews. It looks good. And Eric's into a lot of the Peter Pan movies and stuff. Like he had me watch Hook with Robin Williams recently,
That's a
which was
good
really
one.
good. Yeah, it was
I
good.
love
I
that
enjoyed
one.
it. So I'll probably get him. I'll rope him into watching that with me. And then Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is coming soon. I think it's like what next week, May 5th. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that
and it's going to stream in the summer on Disney Plus, which is probably the route I'll go, unless
same.
Nicholas wants to go watch it.
Have you seen the other ones?
I've seen the first one at least. I don't think I've seen the second one,
Okay.
but it just wasn't my vibe.
Yeah, it's just Chris Pratt. I just can't.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. His stupid face bugs me. No,
Ugh.
I'm excited. I'm excited for your cousin to join us today. It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, so he'll be on shortly to talk about his stuff and his trip with his new wife to Disney. Um, but yeah,
Disney love is in the air. Disney just like bringing these relationships together.
it really is because we had just posted about you and Eric, and that was where you
Yeah.
had your first date.
And then Kylie, do you want to explain your shirt and your little Disney love that
Oh
was to
yeah.
be?
So I'm Schmoopsy Poo, and my husband has a shirt that says Googly Bear. And I was trying to get him tickets for his birthday to go to Disneyland back in 2020, and the park closed a week before we were going to go. So we still have not gone, but we like to rock our little Mike and Celia shirts.
Hopefully we'll get you guys out here, maybe hopefully before the move.
Yeah,
That'd be cool. A little couples day. That could be cute.
it could be cute. I was thinking the same thing.
I'll have to get Eric and I some different shirts.
Yes, go on Etsy.
Ooh, good idea. Because I was going to say the only ones I can think of, like, he's my Minnie, she's my Mickey. And I'm like, I feel like we could do better.
I got mine on Etsy,
Okay,
so you can
Etsy.
find more creative.
Yeah, so I mean, just going on off topic anyway, you can cut this. But I was gonna say, for Eric for his birthday, I wanted to do something a little bit more personal. I wanted to get a little cross stitch pattern and do like a either like Star Wars or Lord of the Ring cross stitch and like do it for him and like give it to him.
Oh, he would love that because
Okay.
it's like creative and
Yeah.
artistic, which is right up his alley.
Okay, sick. That's gonna be part of it. I'll obviously get him like another gift too, but I wanted to get him something, because he likes those little things too.
Yeah. And
Okay.
I've seen on his walls from the Zoom calls we've had thus far that he's really into putting like artwork on the walls.
Yeah. And a lot of it's funny. Like some of it's stuff he gets, and some of it's like a lot of gifts that people give him over the years. So it's like a collage of like both.
Hey, whatever works.
It's funny.
Oh, I have some news we can talk about.
Oh, yeah.
So June 5th, Fantasyland is closing 3 different rides. They're closing Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, the Alice in Wonderland ride, and Peter Pan's Flight.
Are they for refurbishment or to like
I'm pretty sure it's refurbishment because all that they're saying is there's no reopening date set just yet. So I assume it's temporary, but it's still a bummer.
I mean, because we're getting rid of two classics, Splash Mountain and Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
Yeah.
Those are like 2 major classics, and it's kind of like at the same I'm scared they're going to take away Mr. Toad and try to put something different there just because I don't think as many kids understand or remember it.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even watch that until I went on the ride and I was like, what is this ride about? And then that's when I watched that cartoon, but it's sad.
I know. And they don't have much space in Fantasyland, which is what kind of worries me, is that they may take it away just to put something else in there because they already don't have enough space to put stuff there at Disneyland, at least.
Right. It's sad because the classics.
I know. Because they got rid of Mr. Toad's Wild Ride at Disney World not too long. It was only a few years or so ago, right? Or was it like right when we
Oh.
were there?
No, it was there when we were there.
Was it?
I didn't know that they closed that one down. That's a bummer.
I think they did. Let me not quote myself here and give the fans the wrong info.
So it's saying that it closed September 7th in 1998.
Huh.
I could have sworn that it was open when we were there.
What replaced it? Yeah, Mr. Winnie the Pooh at Disney World is now what that was? You know what? That is
Oh.
right. I remember that now.
And that's right by the teacups, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. But I do remember that because I was disappointed. And then, then I was confused when I came to Disneyland and I was like, wait, it's here? So, okay, that's right. Because the track, yeah. But I think that what confused me is the fact that they have both at Disneyland. They have the Winnie the Pooh ride and Mr. Toad's Wild Ride here at Disneyland.
Okay.
But they replaced it at Disney World.
I thought maybe it was the Snow White ride I remember riding there. Because they both I found a little scary as a kid.
Yeah.
I hope they reopen it, even though it's scary.
Well, it's really jerky from the last time I rode it. It like, moves you around kind of.
Okay, maybe that's why they're closing it, to make it a smoother ride.
Maybe, but the whole point is that it's wild. He's driving erratically, so
yeah, that's true.
I mean, it's not super jerky, but like because it's on a track. But I mean, you are getting like
Yeah, you're going quickly around the corners.
Yeah.
Well, we just have to stay tuned, but hopefully it'll reopen.
Yeah, it would be really sad if they got rid of that because I don't know what they put there better be good.
Yeah. Let's just hope it's still Mr. Toad's. And then some updates on Mr. DeSantis. So Disney got their ducks in a row and filed a lawsuit against the government or the state of Florida for government retaliation was the term they used.
It sounds like it's getting really spicy over there in Florida.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to bark up Disney's tree.
I don't know why he's trying to make this a battle. Like, just let them bring the state money in and move on. Like, I don't know what you're doing here.
Yeah, because if they ruin Disney can just easily pack up and leave. They're worth, what, billions, trillions of dollars?
Yeah, and any other state would love to have Disney. Anyone would love the number of the dollar bills of tourism. So Florida, I mean, you're not that great without Disney. I'm sorry. Being a Florida native, born and partially raised, you ain't that great, Florida. You need Disney, so humble yourselves.
Yeah, figure it out.
No, it's like I can't keep up with it because every time I turn around, it's like DeSantis this, DeSantis that, and it's like, chill out, dude.
Yeah. When I go to read about it, I'm like, now you said what? You're just making it worse. Like first it was the toll roads, then he's threatening them with a prison right off the grounds. And for what?
He just wants to be big dog. It's like,
Yeah, and it's like, remember, you have a term that will expire and you'll have to be elected.
ooh,
So
yeah.
I'm sure families who want to take their kids to Disney don't want to have to worry about a prison.
Right though? No, it's been hard to keep up with that. I need to do more of my research on that. It's a lot. I wish there wasn't very much news this week in Disney. Disney was, pretty much business as usual. The one thing I did see is there's always news about the Genie Plus, and they said that they did increase it by 2 points for the Genie Plus, or 2 points, $2 increase for the Genie Plus going forward as of last week. So
Oh, wow.
as if it wasn't expensive enough.
Yeah. So it's 102 now?
No, so Genie Plus services, I guess it was somewhere around like $18, $18 to $20, depending on the day, and they increased it up to $20 and up per day.
Oh, for some reason I thought it was like 100 per person.
It can get up to that. So it's like first you pay for the Genie Plus service, and then there's certain rides where you have to pay a premium on top of it. So then it can be like, it can get up to $100 if you keep paying for each of the premium
Okay.
rides. But typically it ends up being about like for two people, it's like $100 combined to get it all.
Okay. Got it.
So
I did see one more piece of news.
what did you say?
There's a new animated feature film coming out called Wish. And I don't know if she's going to be a princess or not, but it basically, there's a girl with her little sidekick. I think it's a goat, and it follows the journey of where shooting stars come from. And so it takes place in like I forget, it's some island. Obviously they make it a fantasy place, but it's like some island that's in between Spain and Portugal, or it's around there. Iberia, I think, the island of Iberia.
Oh, I love that. That sounds really cute, actually. I would watch that.
Yeah, me too. I always love a good animated feature film from Disney.
Same. Yeah. And I'm excited that it's going to be like about stars and wishing,
Yeah.
and it's going to be magical. I like that.
Yes. Yeah. I know that Chris Pine is playing the villain. And I'm blanking on her name, but did you see West Side Story?
No, but I did just see a name. Hold
Oh,
on.
Ariana DeBose, that's her name.
Yeah.
So she
I
was
just-
in West Side Story. She's great. So she's gonna be playing Asha, I think is the main character's name.
Mhm.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, this will be really cute. I'm looking at it online and I'm really excited. I think a lot of kids are going to think this is really cute too. So,
Yeah, it's always good to see like the new princesses or whatever, because then you get to see that generation of kids, like all the little girls wearing the dresses and singing the songs.
the goat is so cute too, the little sidekick. Y'all need to
Yeah.
check this out. He's so cute.
Don't think we've had a goat sidekick since Hunchback and with Esmeralda,
Yeah, you're right. And that was what?
the 90s.
Yeah, so it's been a while. We're overdue for a cute new sidekick. Not that Olaf and all the ones we've had recently weren't cute, but a new forest creature.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And there hasn't been anything really cutesy like this out in a while. I mean, I feel like feel good movie like this that I'm thinking was like Moana. This kind of gives me Moana like feel good vibes.
Yeah. And I feel like with the princesses in the last decade or so, they've always tried to been like female empowerment, where that's great, but let's also still keep the girly princess stuff too and kind of mix it together. So I'm excited that it's just
Yes.
simple magic fun, because that's what Disney is all about.
Yeah, they're not making it overly complex or anything, and it's fun. Yeah, I think I agree with that too. I saw some weird Disney news. I saw like bad Disney news. I think I took a picture of the headline because it was wild. I saw it on like Instagram.
Oh,
I
let's
have it.
bring it.
Let's see if I have it still. Oh yeah, so it was gross. So at Disneyland or Disney World, sorry, a New Jersey man was caught smoking, watching porn, and touching himself in the Remy's Ratatouille restaurant in Epcot. It was
Ew.
Yeah, so gross, right? I saw this on Wednesday and I took a screenshot of the headline.
Who reported on that? Because I feel like it sure wasn't Disney. They like to keep everything under wraps.
It said Walt Disney World News Today.
Oh, yeah. I don't think that's actually ran by them.
Oh,
Because I
yeah.
go there for my news too. So,
This was on Facebook too. So again, this was like one of those, I don't know how much truth there was to that, but it was just like,
oh, yeah. No, that website I would say is reputable. I just don't think it's coming from the horse's mouth.
yeah.
Because I
probably
was curious if Disney would actually make a statement on that because they normally don't.
No, whenever it comes to stuff like that, Disney tries to kind of, unless they have to speak on it, they try not to comment.
Yeah. Like even the myth that there's never been a death on Disney property.
Yes, that's my favorite myth, which is not really that true.
Yeah.
Wait, what? They have like a loophole with it, right? It's like they don't die at Disney. They
They're
like,
pronounced dead once you're off Disney grounds.
yeah. So
And that's what I was telling Nicholas with the whole DeSantis thing. I'm like, if they have that sort of pull, I wouldn't want to be threatening them and get sued by them.
yeah, because DeSantis, you may end up dead, but not at Disney.
We should do a whole episode on conspiracy theories about Disney.
I love that. Yes, and the Disney myths. Those are like my favorite
Yes.
things. Oh, I love looking them up.
I feel like we could
Yes.
maybe even do a few episodes on those because I know you and I can go for days talking about that stuff.
Oh my gosh, not only the ones that we like heard about while we were working there, but just the ones that I've like combed through just like being a Disney fan in general.
Yeah, it's interesting. And we can go through like all the Easter eggs. They've got some inappropriate ones.
To say the least. No, and like also the like the myths and conspiracies, like that someone was hanging from one of the rides and stuff.
We'll have to go through that one. I think there's a photo online of that one.
Yeah.
That's really creepy.
Yeah, so I'm excited. This is right up my alley. I think it was like right after I finished my stint at Disney. I think I kind of really got into like all the YouTube videos, and I think it was Tumblr at the time before Reddit.
Oh yeah.
So
And one of our roommates had us watch this movie. It was like filmed at Disney World, but it was filmed illegally. And like the whole thing was in black and white. Do you remember that?
yeah, I do now that you remind me. Do you remember what the name of it was? Maybe we can
I
watch it.
don't, but I can find it, I'm sure.
Okay, I'm gonna
'Cause
write
I
it
think it
down.
was on YouTube.
Yeah. Speaking of theme park movies that I watched recently, did you hear about the one that it came out in 2021, but people are circulating it again now? It's called Closed for Storm, and it's about Six Flags New Orleans and how like they took over and it was supposed to bring the city money, but they ended up never reopening after Hurricane Katrina.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I only got through halfway through it because it was late and I was watching it this Friday and I kind of fell asleep, but it was really good before I fell asleep.
Isn't that how it always goes though? This is our 30s. You sit down,
Yeah.
you finally have time to sit down and enjoy something and you fall asleep during it.
Literally. But yeah, it was good. I love watching those kinds of like documentaries too. The ones that are really raw and they give you like good, candid information that's not kind of biased or like shadowed behind something to kind of make it rose colored.
Right.
I want the good stuff, the gritty stuff.
Yeah, the real stuff. Like all the Fire Festival documentaries.
Yes. My God. I wonder if we could do like a watch with us one. We could do it like live.
Oh, like a live stream. Yeah, I know you can live stream on YouTube because my brother's wanting to start doing gaming streams
Hmm.
on his own. And so I was like, oh, I'll help you figure it out. But I haven't had time to sit down and help him figure it out yet. But I know it's possible.
Oh, that's good to know. I didn't know you could do YouTube live because I was telling Eric about like how he wanted to do his videos and stuff, and he was like, I don't know how to do it. So that's good. I'll write that down.
Anthony does it live too. I don't know if it's through StreamYard and they activate it, but he does it like 3 or 4 times a week, and I hop on there and there's like the chat going on and everything. So
Yeah.
there's a way. We'll figure it out.
As a team collectively, we'll You know, as millennials, it's so funny because now, like, I feel like we're starting to be the ones who are pulling away from technology, but like we were really in it, like when things started booming. And so it's
Yeah.
kind of funny to be starting to be on the outskirts and be like, well, we have to figure this out now. And it's like, no, we used to be the ones who knew it.
Right. And I've had that moment recently because we're seeing like AI just pop up everywhere. And
Mhm.
we've always been told like AI is evil, it's going to take over our world. And I
Yes.
just kind of had a moment where I was like, no, I need to embrace this. I need to not act like a boomer and just accept it. It's always going to be here, it's always going to develop. And the more hesitant I am towards it, the harder of a time I'm going to have catching up. So I just need to stay on top of it and keep learning the new technology.
You know, that's a really good perspective on it because, and actually, a good point is that we were taught like AI is bad. No, we don't like that. And so now that it's kind of emerging, yeah, we do have to kind of modify and just let it, to an extent, kind of come into our everyday. Oh, it is going to be harder. We're going to have
Yeah,
struggle.
it's already here, to be honest. We have
Yeah.
Siri, we have Alexa, Google, etc. And we just need to, and the more we know about it, the more in control we can be.
Yeah. I think that's a good point too. I think to fear it is to not know it. And then, yeah, then we're left in the dark
Kind of
entirely.
like keeping your enemies close.
Right, though? I'm watching you, Alexa. You have a name. That's scary. She's
Yeah.
gonna personify. I'm still not prepared to love Alexa. I did have an Alexa, but like I was afraid to keep it plugged in all the time because they obviously like they take what they hear and they take the data and you know it helps improve your life, yes, but you're also listening to me, and that's terrifying.
Yeah. We have
Oh.
our guest here. Well, thanks for joining us. So
Yeah.
we've got the man, the myth, the legend here with us today. He is the host of 49ers Cutback podcast. He is a newlywed who just honeymooned at Disneyland. And most importantly, he's my cousin. So give it up for Anthony Robertson. Woo!
Hey guys.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So obviously you just got back from your honeymoon and we wanted to get you while the memory's fresh. So how was it? Tell us how everything was.
It was a blast. We had a lot of fun. Ate a lot of food, probably that we shouldn't have eaten. Went on a lot of rides. Some cool new stuff there since the last time I've been. I hadn't been to Disneyland in over 20 years, so it was kind of fun to go and see everything. And it was a blast. I think there were some things that were definitely different than when I went before. New lands, of course, with everything to do with Star Wars. Knowing that it's going to be the end of Splash Mountain pretty soon, I made sure to go on that. And it was just a lot less characters walking around than the last time I was there. Like the characters are definitely more set. Like, oh, we're going to take pictures here or there, but you just don't see them very much. So I thought that was a lot different.
That's a good perspective. Now that I'm thinking about that, I do feel like there are more characters when I was little versus now. And they kind of were just out there, not like, oh, they're going to be at this location at this time, so you need to get in line here. It was kind of just like, oh, Snow White's over there. Let's go say hi.
Yeah, exactly. It was a lot different back then. I mean, I remember you could just kind of see them walking around and interact with them. But now it's a little bit different. We still were able to interact with some of the characters, which is fun. It brings back the nostalgic memories of childhood. But overall, it is a little bit different. I think that's kind of expected in a post-COVID, lifetime. Like everyone just sees it differently.
Definitely. Did you guys wait in line for any specific characters? Did you have a character that you did want to wait in line for?
Well, my wife wanted to wait for the princesses, but she didn't know which princesses were going to be in there. And they said, if we tell you by the time you get inside, they're probably going to be different anyways. So we did end up waiting for Tigger and Pooh. And so we did get to kind of hang out with them there. And that was fun. We had a lot of fun, took some pictures with them. And it was memories for me because that's literally what my nursery was growing up. So it was kind of funny that got to see Pooh again after all these years.
Oh, how cool.
I had no idea that was your nursery theme. That was also Caleb for the listeners. That's my brother. That was his nursery as well.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't remember that was Caleb's, but yeah, that was mine. And your dad used to come in there and hang out in the nursery and everything when I was young. I remember kind of like one or two. I still had some of the things left over from the nursery, like a Pooh chair and stuff like that, because it was pretty big back then.
Oh, so how cool. So in a way, Christopher Robin got to go back to his friends and say, meet my wife.
There you go. Perfectly. Yeah. Yeah. And we tried have you guys ever tried a Tigger tail, like the snack?
No.
What is that?
Oh, it is basically marshmallows that they put caramel and like an orange chocolate, and it looks like Tigger's tail. It is by far one of the richest as far as sugar tasting, but it was pretty good. We could only eat one. We ate it together, and it was but yeah, they have a lot of really cool stuff over there as far as sweets and things to eat.
That sounds like the perfect dessert for Amber. She loves chocolate covered oranges.
Oh my
As soon as
gosh.
she said orange, I saw her face.
I was on board. No, the last time I went there, I don't know if it was there when you guys went, there was something called churro toffee. And I tried it and it was just amazing, but that was really, really sweet too.
Yeah, we did not know about that. We kind of found out about the Tigger tail from a family member. So I think my wife loves churros. So we did churros multiple days. So I'm sure she would have been willing to try that, but we did not know about that it existed. But future visits to Disney, I'm sure that would be something we'd look for.
Totally look out for it because it was so good, but it is really rich and like I could only eat a little bit at a time because it's so sweet. But if she's into churros, she'll love it.
Oh yeah, she loves the churros. We walked in, we weren't even in the park 5 minutes, and we already had a churro. This is what she was about, So we did try to go like to the different places to try all the different foods, because now with everything TikTok and everything else, you can find out all the different spots to get the different foods and we pretty much did that every day. Just find something, try something new, and there was a lot of really really good foods, and then some that were maybe a little bit overblown, but overall it was a good experience.
So what are some of the foods you think were overrated?
I think the corn dog from the Big Red Wagon. We both liked it, but compared to, we had one at our fair here in our local town, and it was more delicious than the Big Red Wagon one. So I thought that one was a little bit overblown. But for the most part, they were pretty good. We liked the funnel cake. We thought that was really good. We tried that. So yes, food good, but Red Wagon maybe blown out of proportion a little bit.
That's fair. So you had mentioned that, and for the listeners, his wife's name is Jessica. We call her Jess. So she wanted to see the princesses. Who was her favorite?
You know what? I don't even know. I didn't ask who her favorite was. She just gets super excited about like when she sees them. Because when we saw Cinderella in the parade, she was very excited about that. But as far as seeing the princesses, like you don't see them out at all. Like we used to see them before. You don't see them out at all. Maybe a couple times we saw like Snow White kind of briskly walking between locations. But other than that, you don't really see any of them, which is understandable. But yeah, I think she likes a variety of the different princesses. I don't know exactly which one. I'm gonna have to ask her now. Now you put me on the spot. I'm gonna have to find out.
Okay, well, it sounds like if she was excited over Cinderella, she probably leans towards the classics more versus the modern.
Yeah, I definitely do. She was, she definitely talked a little bit about because I'm not as up to date on some of the newer stuff that's come out. If anything old school, I've definitely watched it. but she was talking about like Moana and Coco and, a lot of these other things. And we're like, oh, okay. So yeah, I think I got a little bit brought up to speed, but we're definitely have some more stuff that we have to watch because I'm not even caught up on who these characters are and the stories behind them.
Yeah, that's understandable. So who's the biggest Disney fan out of the two of you? Is it you or your wife?
It's my wife. It's not even close. She has been Disney. I mean, as soon as we started dating, she wanted to take a trip to Disney. It's been about Disney. She loves it. We go on to Disney Plus, watch the shows and stuff. But yeah, she was super hyped to get to Disney, giddy pretty much. It was dancing and just enjoying it. She was dancing down the streets and stuff. Yeah, she loves Disney more than a lot of people that I know. And so she was definitely excited about the experience to go.
Does she love it more than me?
I don't know. You guys could battle it out to see who likes it the most. I don't know how but she does like it a lot, but I know you do as well.
Yeah, that's probably why we get along so well.
I was going to
Yeah.
say, she sounds like somebody I want to be friends with. I mean, she loves to try the food and she loves Disney. Let's be besties, Jess.
Right?
Totally. You'd love her. She was a little too shy to come on today, but maybe
That's
we
okay.
can do a Zoom call without the recording and hang out.
I would love that.
Yeah, I think she would be down for that too.
We
Very
can have a
cool.
watch party.
Yes, and then
There you
maybe a
go.
Disney trip one day together, guys.
Yes, I'm down. So how long was your guys' trip?
So we were at Disney for 3 days, and we
Okay.
just did the Magic Kingdom. We did not do California Adventure. She decided that she didn't want to rush. She wanted to take her time, and that if we went to California Adventure, between those 3 days, we would really probably push ourselves a little bit more than because she just wanted to take her time and stroll through the park and experience everything instead of going rides to rides to rides.
Mhm.
And so yeah, it was 3 days of that, and because of that, we did experience a lot of short lines in some categories, but we did, kind of get to experience what all the park had, watching the parades. And then her favorite ride is Small World, so we went on that like 3 times. So
You know, my dad used to hop on the stages in that ride.
he just told me about that when he came out for the wedding. He said that him and his friends used to jump up on the stages and run around and then jump back into the boat. Yeah.
And for the listeners, just for reference, my dad watched Anthony a lot when Anthony was little. So that was the example Anthony grew up with.
Very solid example. Yeah. He definitely got me into some stuff growing up. That's for sure. He was rocking the long hair and the rocker style as he's babysitting me. He's like 19 and 20 years old. And yeah, very interesting times. He went from long hair to no hair.
Oh, he's going to love hearing that one. But so what was your favorite thing about the honeymoon at Disney?
I think it was just the overall atmosphere and experience of being at Disney. It's a different feeling than anywhere else. It's really not real life. If you're there, it's like you're in a movie. And so I think that was kind of fun. You kind of, once you walk through those gates, the world on the outside doesn't exist, and you kind of just get to experience it. Those hours that you're there and the time that you're there with, especially in this case, it was, with my newly married wife. So we just really spent a lot of time together and enjoyed the moments that we had. And it was a lot of fun. Disney is different than any place else, just the atmosphere and the feeling. And I haven't yet been able to experience that anywhere else. And I think that was what was so special about it.
Yeah, and like you were saying, you guys stopped to enjoy more than just the rides, and I think Disney does a really good job at that. There's smells, there's audio, they really just take a hold of all 5 senses.
Yeah, they do. I mean, that's intelligence. The far they do it marketing wise, they know what they're doing. The way they have the certain corridors that you walk through, you see shops, you see, you smell foods, the foods on the side. But I think the kids that are running around do produce a certain atmosphere that makes everyone else kind of feel like a child in those moments. And I think that's another thing that really helps with the Disney experience, because in a lot of locations, you just don't get the happiness, constantly. And I think at Disney, everyone's just happy to be in that environment. It brings back the inner child in them, and that it kind of gets expressed through everybody in their actions while they're there.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
agree. Yeah, no, that's a good point too, where that you say that like Disney really is the only one that does it the best. I haven't experienced it. I mean, Universal comes second, but even really Disney, just the immersion that they give you, you can't see the outside world once you come into Disney. You really do feel like you're in a different world.
Yeah, you do. And I mean, when for Toonland is probably one of the easiest ones to experience that in. You go in there, they got the giant wall that makes you feel, like you're in that land and all the characters and everything. And I think you do feel like you're in a different world when you go there. And I think they do that better. You walk into Star Wars and you feel like you're literally on one of those planets. It's pretty amazing how they make you feel, the natural sounds like you talked about, Kylie. Like, you walk into Star Wars, there's those sounds. You go to Frontierland, there's a different sound. It's really interesting how they do that, and I think it does make you feel immersed into their world.
Yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
With you guys being on the honeymoon, I'm curious if it's similar to when they first started doing this. Did you guys get any perks? Because you guys had the buttons, right?
Yeah, they did not give us any perks. There was nothing
Oh,
special that they did in that category. Lots of congratulations, and just nice interactions that way. But yeah, no perks. And overall, it's a different experience too, because now you have the app that you do a lot of the things off of, including ordering food, or if you get the Genie Plus, then you get the Lightning Lane. Like, all of that stuff is definitely different. The last time I went, we had Fast Pass, so you kind of walked up there and clicked your ticket and everything. So
right.
it's a different experience, but it's still a very good experience.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's kind of less personal, but you can also get a lot more accomplished through the app.
Oh, definitely. Well, the ordering food is huge. I mean, you
Yeah,
order food on the app, you show up, you tell them you're there. 5 minutes later, it's usually ready. You just go pick it up. Like, the convenience is far superior than what it used to be.
definitely, because you'd have to, and especially if you had your family, you'd have to get all your kids corralled together, figure out what everybody wants, stand in line, then you got to wait for it to be made. So that sounds like an experience I definitely want to try out.
It's must. I mean, using the app is a must at this point. At any of the parks that I've been to, but Disney especially, it's just the way to go.
Yeah, I think it's almost required at this point, right? Because tickets go through there. I mean, everything is scannable through that app at this point. At least the last time I went, that's how it was. But yeah, I do like the ability to order food, but the whole Genie Plus service. So did you guys use the Genie Plus service as well?
We did. It was recommended to us. I had no idea what it was. So we were kind of told as we got there, hey, once you get inside the park, you get Genie Plus, and you'll have the ability to get the Lightning Lane. And so we did take advantage of that.
How did you feel about that experience versus like using the Fast Pass like you had used previously?
Well, I think the Fast Pass was different in the fact you could usually get multiple rides, with some of the Fast Pass examples. When I used to go through AAA, I know we could get it before you had unlimited Fast Pass. You could go to every single ride and get it, basically scheduled out. With the Genie Plus, of course, at times we could get two scheduled. Sometimes it was one. It let us do two a couple of times. If we waited like an hour between, we
Mhm.
could get a couple. And so we did have fun with that. And it was good for rides like Indiana Jones or Splash Mountain. It cut the times down significantly. When you're talking about Rise of the Resistance, you have to pay an additional $25.
Mhm.
We didn't pay the 25. We just went through the line. It took us about 50 minutes. I think that was our longest wait. And we just kind of breezed through it, and we were excited about, that. But overall, some of the rides it's very important for, and then we just sort of started using it for convenience. It's like, oh yeah, Thunder Railroad, yeah, let's use that, let's go really quick. And that was fun.
Yeah, I think I had similar experiences. I did pay for Rise of the Resistance when I went last time because my boyfriend's a huge Star Wars fan. But it's good to know that sometimes those wait lines, if you just hit them at the right time, you can just get through there without having to pay that additional fee.
Yeah, and Rise of the Resistance was actually down most of the time we were there.
Oh.
We went on it the very first day. It was the very first ride we went on. I think it was maybe like 10:30 a.m. And we went on it, and it was a good experience. And we wanted to go back, but it was pretty much breaking down off and on throughout the entire trip. So we never got to go back on it. They had a few breakdowns, which I think is kind of normal, but that one definitely we weren't able to go on again. We did go on the Smuggler's Run at the end, and that one was a lot of fun too.
Oh, cool.
Alrighty, well, we like to always wrap up our podcast with a game, and we have a couple of options for you. So we have match the Disney quote to the movie, or we have our version of MFK, and we call it Lay, Slay, or Wedding Day.
I have no idea what that means, but it seems
like marry, F, or kill.
let's do that one. That sounds right up my alley. Yeah.
Alrighty. So we'll get this started. So our first category is the Disney princes. So we've got Aladdin, Li Shang, or Prince Eric from The Little Mermaid.
And I have to marry one of these people.
Or just commit to spending your life with them.
Okay, I know Jess loves Aladdin, so I'll marry Aladdin. There we go. Then we'll go Prince Eric for, was it
Lay.
All right, yeah, Prince Eric, he's pretty hot, so let's do that. And then we'll kill the other one.
Oh.
I would marry Li Shang.
Sorry.
But he can make a man out of you.
Yeah.
Kylie, what say
No,
you?
he's not having it. I can't remember what I said last time. I think it was marry Li Shang, Lay Aladdin, and slay Prince Eric.
Ooh.
How about you?
Prince Eric?
Yeah.
That's what I picked. And the reason why is because he didn't try to communicate with her in any other way. He just let her, he was just mute with her. Like, he had so many options. He could have written notes to her. He could have figured out what was going on, and he didn't. So that's trash. Go away.
Wow. I didn't think about it like in this depth. You guys are coming through with more depth yeah, I was mainly just thinking about their chiseled chin lines and that kind of thing, who's flying on magic carpets and all that. It was kind of more rudimentary, I think. You guys are finding more depth in these characters than I was for this game.
I like where your head was at, though. The chiseled jaws. I see where you're in the, flying car. I like where you're going, though.
Yeah, I mean, one of them has a genie and jewels and all kinds of cool stuff. Like, a cool monkey. Like, I don't know. It just sounds kind of fun.
You're changing my perspective.
Hey, we have a guy's point of view now. All right, the next category is sidekicks. So we have Mushu from Mulan, Olaf from Frozen, or Miko from Pocahontas.
Well, we know what's going down. It's going to be Pocahontas for me. So we'll go that for the M. Let's see. We'll go Mulan for the L, and then Olaf can be slayed later. Olaf, sun is out for you. Sorry, no more Frozen.
I'm pretty sure that's Amber's, or it was last week. Is that still stays the same?
Yeah. I'm gonna marry Miko. We're gonna we'll lay Mushu, and Olaf's got to go. I'm with you. It's too much.
Peace out, Olaf. It's been fun.
A little too much fun.
Yeah, I think I still have to stick with it. I think Olaf is the ultimate sidekick because he is loyal. He gave his life for Anna to live. So I just keep him. I will lay with Miko. We love the food. And then gotta slay Mushu.
Wow. Oh, that's deep. It's really deep.
The next category is magical mother. So we have Edna Mode from The Incredibles. She's the one that makes their costumes. The fairy godmother from Cinderella, or grandmother Willow from Pocahontas.
Wow. Let's go ahead and I'll marry the little lady from Incredibles. I can't remember her name.
Oh, Edna.
Edna. Let's do that. I like the way she looks with those glasses and that hairdo. So we'll rock with that. As far as Lay, let's go with the fairy godmother. Why not? She's showing around. She's got magic. We'll do that, and then we'll slay the other one. I can't even remember which one it was.
Grandmother Willow.
Grandmother Willow. Yeah,
He's like,
later
she-
Willow. She
Oh.
she can go. Sorry.
Okay.
No blue corn moon for you.
Fair enough.
Okay. Kylie?
I would marry Grandmother Willow because I would love to have her wisdom all the time and someone to talk to. I think I said I would lay with Fairy Godmother. She's got the magic. And then I would slay Edna Mode. Nothing against her, but there's nothing I want from her either. I don't need a costume.
That's fair. Okay, so for mine, I agree with Grandmother Willow. Yeah, I'll marry her. I need the wisdom. I feel like she can keep me on the right track. I sometimes need that wisdom in my life to guide me. We're gonna kill or slay Fairy Godmother. She's she gives things, but she takes things away too. She's like, here, I'll give you a dress and a carriage, but you have to be back. She time constraints me, and I don't like that. So we're slaying her. And then Edna, I feel like she could be a good little lay there, little fun hookup. So we'll keep her there.
She's fiery.
Those are some good points about the fairy godmother. I'll tell you, time constraints and stuff. I didn't even think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah.
Women think about everything.
Apparently so. Yeah. I'm missing the entire depth of all these characters and how it relates to my decisions.
Well, here's another one that you might think about. It's Toxic Kings. So we have Gaston from Beauty and the Beast, Hans from Frozen, and John Smith from Pocahontas.
Oh, wow. You came with the heavy hitters on this one.
Yeah, so you might have to think about this.
Yeah. Wow, Gaston's a very attractive man. He's got that long hair, willing to take on a beast. I mean, that's a lot. I think the lay will be Gaston. He's too handsome with that hair, got the ponytail, the whole thing. And then John Smith, I'm gonna marry. I like me some John Smith in my life. Plus, he got close to Pocahontas, so it's my angle to get close to Pocahontas. And then we'll get rid of was it Hans from Frozen?
Yeah.
Yeah, Frozen later. Peace out. You can join Olaf on the scrap heap.
You are not a Frozen fanatic at all.
No.
It's okay. I don't blame you.
Yeah, we aren't either because that's what was on repeat when we worked there.
Yeah, let it go. That song can be let go, is what I say.
Yeah, I've heard that one like 1,000 times for sure.
Yeah, we're over it. How about you, Amber? What's your lineup for these?
Okay, so we're gonna lay Hans just because I feel like Gaston's a little bit too beefy for me. It's a lot. It's too much muscle. We're gonna slay him just because he's feeling a little bit too confident and cocky, and I just don't need that in my life. So I need to bring him down a few pegs. So we're gonna slay him. And I agree, John Smith is wedding day. I know he's trying to, colonize and he's doing all these, not so great things, but we're going to put that to the side and we're going to say, he's cute and we'll take him.
And I agree. I would probably marry John Smith. So we're all aligned there. Just, he's got his issues, but he seems open-minded and is willing to work on things. I got to slay Gaston. He's just too much.
Or Gaston.
He's just too much. And then Hans, I guess, will lay because he's the last one left.
Even though he doesn't deserve it.
Yeah.
Gaston's getting a bad rap. All he does is go to the gym and work out and try to fight off evil beasts. But
didn't he make a narcissistic song, like a whole narcissistic song about himself?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I guess if we were to dive in, he might be, how like Sharpay was unfairly ruled as the villain. Maybe we need to do a dive into this Anthony's got
Yeah.
a good point here.
Yeah,
Okay.
poor Gaston. All he is trying to build self-confidence with the song, and you guys are just cutting him down, acting like it's arrogance, when really he's just trying to get the confidence enough up to do what he needs to do. He's disguising for his insecurities.
And the Beast did kidnap Belle. So we need to do a deep dive into Beauty and the Beast.
The Beast is not so nice.
Good point. All right. So this one should be a little easier for you. We have princesses. So we have Jasmine, Pocahontas, and Rapunzel.
Ooh, that's a tough one. Throwing down some heavy hitters on this one.
Yeah.
Mary Pocahontas. I love I love me some Pocahontas, and then we'll go with Jasmine. We'll marry Jasmine, so we'll slay Rapunzel.
All right. How about you, Amber?
Okay, so we'll lay Pocahontas because that sounds like fun. We will definitely be slaying Rapunzel. She's one of those newer princesses. I haven't really watched Tangle. I saw a little bit of it, but she's a little too fiery, a little bit. It's just too much energy for me. Tone it down. And we'll marry Jasmine.
That's where I'm at too. We got her Rapunzel, we got a slay. She's just, too in your face. Pocahontas lay, and I just think we're too alike that we would clash if we had to be around each other all the time. And then marry Jasmine.
It's a pretty solid lineup. As long as we get rid of Rapunzel, I think we all agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was the obvious choice. Sorry, Rapunzel, but you just don't measure up.
All right, and our final category is the zaddy. Do you know what a zaddy is?
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay, we don't have to explain it. That's great. So we have King Triton, Zeus, or Mufasa.
Oh, wow. This is getting interesting because one of them's a lion. I mean, it's an animal. That's interesting. Okay, so let's go with Zeus is like just a completely normal, god in the world. Is like, I mean, he's not even like just a Disney character. He's just like overall so I'm gonna slay Zeus. Let's get rid of Zeus. We're gonna release the Kraken. Goodbye, Zeus. You've been weighed, measured him, and found wanting. And then we'll go ahead and say we'll marry Triton. He's the king of the sea. I kind of like that. And I guess lay Mufasa. I mean, that's interesting. I'll get wrapped up in his mane, apparently. So that's interesting.
I love your answers. No, though. So we had an episode back where we brought up Zeus and Triton, and I was asked which one I preferred. And so that's why he's come up. Zeus is the god of all gods, aka #power daddy. So for me, I will be marrying Zeus because he's my love. We will be slaying Triton, unfortunately. And I feel you on the Mufasa thing. There's something about that mane of hair, that just, I'm just like, we'll try it just once.
I think I'm gonna actually marry Mufasa because then I have a pet for my whole life. Not necessarily committing to doing anything. We're just committing to life together.
And your dog's named Simba.
Yeah,
so.
I'm already doing that with the Simba. So let's bump up to Mufasa too. And then we're gonna lay Zeus. We'll see what that power is about. And then we'll slay King Triton. He's just got some control issues that I don't want in my life.
Interesting. I mean, you will have to worry about Zeus. He does throw lightning bolts, so that may make things a little painful. He's got Hera you have to worry about, so that's not fun. And then there's Ares. I don't know. It just seems like a lot of baggage.
That is true.
Things I didn't consider. I don't know now. My power daddy's like going down in ratings.
Well, thank you for playing Lay Slay Wedding Day with us, Anthony. And thank you so much for joining us on our podcast. if you don't mind taking a moment and letting our listeners know where they can find more of you.
Yeah, so you can find me if you like football, you can find me over on 49ers Cutback. It's on YouTube and Spotify and every single place you can get your podcasts. And I do 49ers football talk. So if you like that, do that. I'm guessing probably not, but maybe, just maybe, I'll break out some Disney stuff sometimes just for fun.
Yeah, and just go listen to them anyway. Join the conversation. Even if you say hi, you can. Everyone's very welcoming in that community. So check them out.
Yeah,
give them a listen.
Yeah, they are. Come through, say hi, and I'll make sure. Tell me where you came from, and I'll make sure to say hi and shout it back out.
All right. Well, thanks again for joining us. And
Of course.
thank you everyone for listening. And make sure you subscribe to our podcast, rate and review it, follow us, all that good stuff. And we'll catch you back here next week.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. If you like what you heard, be sure to subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. You can connect with us on Instagram and TikTok by following 2 Finger Point Podcast. That's the number 2 spelled out, TWO, Finger Point Podcast. If you'd like to hear your story, have a question, or even be a guest on the podcast, visit twofingerpointpodcast.com and click on our contact page. We'll see you next week for 2 Finger Point Tuesday, but until then, have a magical day.